Well, hello and welcome to Marriage and Family Systems from Moody Bible Distance Learning. This is your fearless leader, Professor Jefferson Williams, and I am coming to you from the remote location of my office in Pontiac, Illinois. It is hot, and I love it because I'm a southern boy up here in the frozen tundra of Illinois, but I love it. And it's been in the 90s the last couple of days, opened the pool. But with that said, I think that that's also messed up our Wi-Fi the last couple of days. The heat has, and I've been on and off the boards trying to work, and it hasn't worked very well. So I sent out an apology last night. I'm usually much more active on the boards than I was this weekend, and I will be next weekend as well. So hopefully, if the Wi-Fi is now working, okay. So week number 2, I just wanted to give you a review. I have graded your discussion boards, and they were fabulous. It's exactly what I'm looking for. You don't have to write a book, but you don't have to write a couple of sentences either. Just enough to share an idea or a thought, and that is what you did. And you interacted with each other wonderfully and respectfully, and debated and discussed. And I put a bunch of scenarios on the boards. Every one of those scenarios was true. I didn't make them up. They they actually happened to me. I dealt with those situations. So I did want to just encourage you also, if you or somebody you know, somebody you love is dealing with sexual sin, sexual addiction, pornography addiction, please let me know. This is what I do. This is my calling. I help guys escape the vortex of sexual sin. That's kind of the way I say it. And I've been doing that for 11 years, and I lead a group, and I'm in a program. I do all kinds of things. So if you have any questions, I did put some resources in the Global Cafe for you to look at if you wanted to. And also the question of the week, I loved reading that. Not everybody, not all of us had parents that are our heroes, right? As far as marriage goes. But all of us have had somebody in our life that we do look to as heroes. So I'm thankful that you guys shared that as well. So week 3 is a very light week again, and it's very illusory, right? It's a trap because you may think, oh, I don't have to give much to this week. You need to finish the Hollinger reading, and then the discussion board is you're simply going to say 3 things that you learned, right? 3 things, 3 points with support of Hollinger's books why sex outside of marriage does not thwarts God's purposes for sex. 3 points. That's it. And then we'll interact about that. And then for your paper, it's going to be your reflection paper on the meaning of sex, on Hollinger's book. 2 pages, double spaced. Now, a reflection paper is not a summary paper. I do not want a summary. Just pick a couple of the things that stood out to you and tell me why. Tell me what stood out to you and why. That's a reflection paper. Okay, so make sure that you're proofreading those grammarly, spell check, all of that before you turn it in. Also with the discussion boards, make sure you check back, and if anyone asks a question, especially your fearless leader, that you would go ahead and answer those questions as well. That's it. That's week 3. So you go, oh, I don't have to do much here. Oh, yes, you do, because you have a huge research paper due, now only in 5 weeks. And I've been talking about it each week. Now, next week, you will choose your topic. In fact, several of you have already chosen it. I want you to please be working on it, at least be thinking about it. I'm continually to try to put it in your brain. Be thinking about that paper, because that paper is due on the last day of the class. And I don't give extensions. The paper is due on the last day, and the class ends midnight that day. Okay, and I don't accept any papers or any assignments after that. So please, please, please be thinking about this ahead of time. I think that's it, except for the question next week. Okay, question of the week is one of my favorite questions of the week, and if you've been in my class before, you know this question. But if I gave you a debit card with unlimited funds, and you could sit on the front row of any concert in the history of the world, what would it be and where? Now, let me give you an out. Okay, I know that some of you think that there are certain responses that are moody responses, right? Oh, I had one student say, I would like to go back and sit on the hill and listen to David play his harp. Okay, that's cool, okay? But I'm going to start off, and I'm going to just tell you, I guess I'm going to go the pagan route and tell you that if I could do that, I would see the Doors in 1967 at the Whiskey A Go Go in Jim Morrison's prime, because I'm fascinated with him. Fascinated. If he had not become a rock star, he would have moved to Paris and been one of the most famous poets of all time. But that's my thing. Or maybe Mozart when he was 13 or something like that. Or be able to see Eddie Van Halen at 19. Um, so I just kind of think through all those things. So you don't have to. Don't think you can. You can. If it's Amy Grant, it's Amy Grant. Okay, but it doesn't have to be. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Any questions, comments, or prayer requests? Please let me know. And onward, upwards. Week 3.